So while scrolling on Pinterest, I saw this really nice diaphragm mechanism, and I thought, hey, why don't I do this in Blender, try to replicate it and rig something like that in Blender. And I thought it would be a little fun exercise. However, I did not do the modeling in Blender. I did it in Fusion 360 because it's a lot faster. As for this video, I'm just going to show my process on how I did the rig. All right, so just let's go straight into it. The first thing I like to do is to set up my scene in a comfortable way that I like to do my model. So the the first thing I do is make this random, make the then make it check the cavity. Now I can see clearly the difference between the meshes because they come in separate path. Okay, we have this, and then we have these 6 separate parts. These are going to rotate and then open up the space that is inside here. All right, so I also like to create a new collection for my armature. All right, so let's go ahead and add an armature to my scene. Armature single bone. Then I'm going to reduce the height a little bit. Then come to my object data. What object data properties? At viewport, I'm going to enable the name and also make it in front. All right, so for organization's sake, I'm going to give this, I'm going to start naming it down. I'm going to name this bone roots. Let's name it roots. Okay, then that's all. I'm going to create a second bone. Shift D, move it on Z axis. Keep it here. I'm going to name this one mid rotor. Okay, then I'm going to create bones also for these 6 doors. I don't know what I can call it. Is it a door or opener? I'm going to make also 6 separate bones. This I'm going to name it just rotor. It's going to rotate, then open. Then I'll be moving it to each of these individuals. How I can do that is go to the edit mode. I'm coming, let me unhide this. Then L to select only this part, L to select it. Then Shift S, cursor to selected. Then now I can just Shift S, selection to cursor, and now we have this. And then also do this for this part. L, duplicate it, Shift S, cursor to selected, S, selection to cursor. I wish there is a faster way to do this, but unfortunately I do not know if there is an actual faster way to do this. I don't think there is. I wish someone will make an add-on that you can just like array the bones, and then it will save you stress from doing this type of repetitive work. Actually, in rigging, you are going to be doing a lot of repetitive work, a lot of it, and it sometimes gets frustrating. But at the end of the day, it's worth it, because if you are patient enough, you get really good results. So, and for the last part, just select selection to cursor. Oops, Shift. Oh, I keep making mistakes. Shift. Yes, selection to cursor. Yeah, and now we have all the bones that we need. I'm now going to start binding the bones to the, or binding the objects to the bones. So I'm going to start with this. This is actually the thing you're supposed to twist, and then it opens up these six little doors. Okay, so I'm going to bind it. Okay, for before we start, I'm going to make this at local view, then select, then come to edit mode and keep it at lock object mode, so that I can go in and out of my of the view of the viewport without having to click change the mode, so that I can go in and out of the mode without having to come here and change it. Yeah, because that's the English. Okay, so now I'm going to select this part, shift, hold shift, then select the bone and alt tab. I'm going to select the bone, control tab, sorry, control, wait, is it control tab? Control tab to go to pause mode. So to bind your bones, you have to be at pause mode. I'm going to select this, then shift, select this. All right, I want to bind it to the mid rotor. All right, so control P, parent bone. All right, so now if I select only this bone, you can see I'm moving this part of the mesh. All right, so we are going to do similar step for the rest of our model. So I'm also going to bind this part to the root bone. Control P, bone. Now we are going to do some repetitive work also, but for now you can just I think we should just forward it. We should make sure that you always test the bones after applying it. Make sure you try to move them around to see if they really applied, if they really parent to the bone, to the specific bone you want. Just make sure you did not skip it or make any unusual mistake. And yeah, we are done. All right, so now I'm going to I'll be going to edit mode on the bone, so that I can parent all these other bones. Let's click on A, then make this the last selection. I can parent all these other bones to root bones. I'm going to leave it at keep offset. Then I'm going back to the pause mode, and then whenever I move the root bone, you see everything moves along with it, and that is what we want. All right, so now I'm going to make the actual rig, because if I like select R on Y, this is what we have, and I don't want to move the whole, I don't want to rotate this whole object like this from the root. I want to rotate it from the mid rotor RY, but I want each of the individual doors to follow it rotate while it opens, and I can achieve that by using the constraints, adding constraints to them. So now I'm going to be adding constraint to root 1. I will come to the add bone constraints, add copy rotation. I'm going to be copying the rotation of the mid rotor. All right, then select armature, then mid rotor. Where is it? Mid rotor. And then watch this. When I RY, you see how it follows the rotation, but I want to do this to each and every part of the other 5 doors. How I can do that, the fastest way I can do that is, in order not to waste our time and keep doing it individually, there's an actual faster way to do it. So I'm just going to select all the other bones that I want to add a constraint to, and then select on the last bone I added a constraint to, and then come to this drop down, and then select on copy to selected, and you see now they all have the same constraint. Now I can easily just rotate this, and they all follow, and now you see we finally done. We are done. We have the mechanism that we were going for. But if you want to like modify the rig and give it to an animator, or you want to make animations to it, there are further steps you can take to just make your workflow when animating really easy. First, you have to start locking the rotations and the constraint. Now, because now watch this, when I select on S, I can scale this, and when I click on R, I can rotate this. I don't want this root bone to deform any part of the mesh, so I'm coming to on bone properties, and then I will off the deform, and then it won't have effects again. Then again, I have to lock the rotation. No, I'm not going to lock the location. I want to be able to move it. I'm just going to lock the scale only. I will leave the rotation open. I'm only going to lock the scale so that I can't, when I click on S, I can't scale it. And then I'm going to start with this. I'm going to lock everything, only let's keep this at XYZ Euler. I will show you why in a few minutes. Okay, I'm going to leave only the Y axis, and then I'm going to do this similar thing to all of this. There's also, I don't know any fastest way to do this, so this is going to be repetitive. I'm sorry. Blender just has a lot of repetitive workflow. I don't know why they are not doing. I'm going to leave it at XYZ Euler. All right. Okay. XYZ Euler. Now we have this. You can see if I click on be it G or R, I don't really have to give it an axis to go towards, and I don't need to, it doesn't matter if I select on the grab button or the rotation button, it just follows. It just follows um the direction it's supposed to follow. Okay, and one thing with why it's on local mode is whenever I rotate this and I rotate the mid point, it will go on the viewport. You'll see they also follow the rotation. That is the rig. So let me Control Z. Okay, so now you can see them passing mid rotor. Let me select the mid rotor. Now when I rotate it, you can see them passing through each other. We can actually lock the rotation so it won't have this weird effect. Okay, so now we have to add a limit rotation constraint now. So where is it? Limit rotation. Okay, so I want to limit it on the y-axis, keep it at xyz euler, also local space. So let's see how we can achieve this. Okay, okay. Let's see. All right, so I'm going to leave it at this place at 15. Okay, sorry. Now that we seen the, let's move it back. Now that we've seen this is what I want to have as my minimum rotation. I don't want the rotation to pass through this level. So I'm going to select on the max, copy this, and then make the max 0, and then make the minimum, keep the minimum at what we have here. And then whenever I rotate it, you see it doesn't go past the minimum value that I added. So you now don't have this weird effect that the meshes are passing through each other. You've locked it at the rotation. Now, yeah, there you have it. You have a full-fledged diaphragm rig. So yeah, thank you for watching my video. If you want to see how I model this in Fusion 360, please let me know and see if it's a tutorial I can make for anyone that is interested in, you know, trying to learn Fusion 360 or model something like this in Fusion 360. And okay, yeah, thank you for watching this video. Hope to see you next time. Please do not forget to subscribe and leave a like if you do like the video and you find it helpful.